welcome the class of 2029, their families, our faculty members, and other friends and community members joining us today. Thank you so much for taking time to celebrate the class of 2029. Before faculty members share their individual speeches, Mr. Uzwak and I want to say a few words in appreciation and recognition of this special group of young people. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Here's a story. 3 weeks ago, I was sitting in MS 203 and I observed an unusual event that nonetheless typifies who these 8th graders are. There I was watching roughly 15 students navigate a conference call with the hospitality manager of the Warm Beach Conference Center, the host for the class's overnight earlier this week. During the call, the students carefully and confidently made requests and answered questions about their student-run overnight. Let me tell you, this is not how other classes have organized their event. Usually, much of the event is planned by teachers, but this class takes responsible action and wise innovation to the next level. Class of 2029, you have been a force of nature since you arrived at EPS. In 5th and 6th grades, you brought unbridled energy to your classes. In 7th grade, you harnessed all of those powers for good and came together as a class to embark upon the school's inaugural EBC trip to the Oregon coast, complete with pen pals, cheese tasting, plane hangers, and swan boats in Seaside. And now as 8th graders, you've leveled up your commitment to one another and your legacy in the middle school by taking on leadership challenges like no other class before you. Let's name a few of your big accomplishments. For example, you ran the first ever Advisory Olympics. You played a significant role in developing the frame and content for the school's Voices for Action Day. You reimagined assembly presentations, especially your Spanish assembly, with a school-wide sing-along, and your memorable teacher AMA presentation. You educated the community about sustainable practices through Green Club. You created a well-used comment box to make sure all middle schoolers' voices were heard in the decisions we made. You brought back the spring social, and you continue to push, respectfully, mind you, for ramen in the LPC. Going so far as to taste test low-sodium vegan options with Mr. Uzwak to ensure we're meeting taste, quality, and nutritional expectations for school meals. Who does that? Moreover, who does all of that? All 54 of you, that's who. The class of 2029 is made up of some of the most talented people I know. Though you're also talented, you're also each very different and independent people. In this class, there are actors, activists, visual artists, multi-season athletes, authors, bakers, barbers, climbers, debaters, dancers, engineers, entrepreneurs, environmentalists, gamers, a lot of gamers, gymnasts, historians, mathematicians, musicians, pilots, polyglots, scouts, swimmers, and more among you. Over the last 3 years, I have seen you bring these aspects of who you are, as well as your developing empathy and care for one another, to the table as you've navigated some big challenges as a group. Through that sea of high and low points, I've also watched you come together around one another in ways that honor who each of you are, while also holding one another accountable for who you want to be collectively. This is the kind of community I hope to see in the middle school. Students, keep taking care of one another, asking the best of your peers, naming your mistakes when you make them, and being the inclusive group of people I know you to be. Some of you start new journeys elsewhere, but most of you will be heading to the upper school. Either way, remember to stay humble, welcoming, and open to all the new opportunities that these adventures bring. We'll miss you, my friends, in the middle school, and we hope you come by to say hello every so often. Thank you all. Before we get to our individual speeches, I'd like to now invite Mr. Uzwak to the podium.
Good morning. All right, look. I know we're all in our nice robes and our dress clothes. but that does not mean we can't have any fun this morning. So let's just try that again. Y'all ready? Good morning! Good morning! That is more like it. Thank you. I want to start by expressing my deep gratitude to everyone gathered here today. More than ever, schools serve an essential societal function. We are places of community, connection, and support. To our parents and guardians, thank you for trusting us with your kids and your partnership in educating them, and your commitment to Eastside Prep's vision and mission. I really appreciate it. To our faculty and staff, thank you for engaging in the very personal and meaningful work of educating youth. Your expertise, creativity, and compassion fill our halls and classrooms each and every day. A special thank you to our incredible middle school head, Sarah Peden. Sarah, under your leadership, our faculty flourish and our students succeed. You believe in the promise of youth, and you are always there to listen. And I greatly appreciate your partnership, so thank you, Sarah. Finally, to our 8th graders, thanks for being you. Your leadership in the middle school, your tenacity in the classroom, and that quirky, fun, sly sense of humor that permeates the halls. It really brings joy to our school and makes our school a better place. You have helped shape and you have helped bind our community, and I am so appreciative. So it's within this strong community that you have grown during these middle school years. So it is no exaggeration to say that this last phase of life is one characterized by profound developmental changes, cognitively, emotionally, and physically. In fact, there's only one other period of a human's life in which that development is faster, and that is birth to toddlerhood. So let's just pause on that. Consider for a moment. Birth to toddlerhood, 5th grade to 8th grade. You have begun to read in between the lines of literature, and you have started to decipher the abstracts of algebra. The social dynamic shifts dramatically, and a more complex sense of identity emerges. The simple becomes more complex. And it's a wondrous time that way. But to be fair, it's a lot, because it's all at once. And it makes a day like today, especially for those folks, just a little bittersweet as you continue your move from childhood towards adulthood. However, there is quite the upside. You're becoming increasingly independent. You gain more and more agency, that is, the power to choose your path. Skills continue to sharpen and develop. So one of the hallmarks of the middle school years is the intense connection to your peers. This natural shift, this necessary shift from seeking approval from adults to one another is an important stepping stone to eventual adult independence. And it comes out, I think, typically most intensely in middle school. But then something magical happens. So I don't mean to suggest that friendships will become any less important. But what emerges is an even stronger sense of self. This allows you to go against the grain sometimes. This allows you to try something because you want to, not because the adults and not because the friends want you to. And that is even more pronounced as you journey to upper school. Upper school will present a new level of challenge and new frontiers of possibility, and I assure you, you are ready for it. So, to get a head start on this, because we're known for assigning homework over the summer, I have a challenge for you myself. Next year, we will welcome over 30 new members of your class. And while you'll all be new to 9th grade, they will be new to our school. You have a responsibility, dare I say a duty, to welcome and support your new classmates. Community is not solely defined by what we derive from it, but what we offer and contribute to it. And I hope you'll gleefully accept this challenge. In the meantime, though, congratulations. Savor your accomplishments and share your gratitude widely. Thank you for being you, and congratulations to the class of 2029. Okay, so now for the main event. Our faculty have prepared speeches for each of our 8th graders, and our first speech is by Natalie Abel for Chloe Chubzik.
What's great? I just want to start by saying I'm going to miss this grade so much. I've been with them for 3 years, and it's really, as Mr. Uswak said, bittersweet. They're an incredible group of people, but on to Chloe. Chloe, you've shown immense dedication and grit throughout middle school. The number of hours you've put into both gymnastics and schoolwork is incredible. I appreciate your quiet, quick wit, perfect comedic timing, and genuine curiosity for the world around you. I always look forward to hearing your unique perspective on anything and everything. Your water check-in is genuinely one of my favorite Chloe memories and will forever live on in my classroom. It wonderfully sums up your creativity combined with your unique perspective on the world. I cherish the time I've spent with you over the last few years. It's been the small moments, helping you study for science or Spanish tests, chatting about current events, both local and global, caring about your family or gymnastics. You always bring a smile and enthusiasm wherever you go. I look forward to watching you continue to grow into a fantastic student in person. I hope you stop by for help and hot takes next year. All right, it's me again. My next speech is about Caitlin Copeland. Caitlin, your maturity and emotional intelligence are beyond your years. I admire your genuine care for the well-being of the people around you. You are kind, hardworking, and thoughtful, and not to mention an incredibly gifted artist. I have loved watching you grow throughout your middle school years. Part of this growth has been actively choosing to separate yourself from the middle school swirl. I hope you know how much I've enjoyed having you as my advisee the last 2 years. Our relationship isn't the big moments, it's a whole lot of little moments that have created a lasting bond. You always greet me with a huge smile and an excited wave, even when you were mad at me for killing you during the Hunger Games. It has been an honor to play a small role in your journey, and I hope to continue to see you and your smiles and waves next year in 9th grade. And one more time. My next speech is about Michael Lezioni. Are you surprised? Michael, one of my first memories of you is from the very beginning of 5th grade. You were trying to put on all your soccer gear for your very first soccer practice. You put your socks under your shin guards and were confident that you were ready to go. I had to kindly let you know that while you could certainly wear them that way, you'd look really uncool if you did so. I think that moment of complete realness was the foundation of our relationship. The thing I've loved most about getting to be your person throughout middle school is that you allow me to see the real you. You are passionate, caring, hilarious, and incredibly driven. Throughout middle school, you have dove headfirst into following your passions. I hope you never lose your willingness to do what makes you happy, even if it means going against the grain. All right, you're finally done with me. I would now like to call Sarah Agar with a speech about Chinar Go Crew.
Chinar, your creativity and imagination have left a mark on every classroom we've shared. Your love of mythology, especially dragons, has added a spark of magic to so many moments. And let's not forget, gaming is in your blood. Whether you're strategizing or storytelling, you always bring your unique perspective. Your artistic talents have been a constant highlight, from the comic book you created in pre-algebra to the unforgettable derby car in 5th grade. Your artistic vision has always stood out. You have a gift for turning ideas into something vivid and memorable. What I admire most is how you stay true to yourself, bringing curiosity, talent, and a quiet confidence to everything you do. As you continue to grow, I hope you keep creating, imagining, and dreaming big. The worlds you build, whether on paper, on screen, or in life, are going to be incredible. Wishing you epic adventures ahead. My next speech is about Prakriti Shrestha. Prakriti, you're funny and engaging with both your peers and your teachers, and that energy lights up any room you walk into. I still remember your 6th grade makerspace creations. So many of them ended up in my classroom. Your famous Prada bag stayed on display for many years, not just because it was clever, but because it represented your creativity and confidence. But what I'll remember the most is how you encourage others, especially in algebra. Whether it was, "We've got this," or "Keep a growth mindset," your words lifted the whole class. You lead not by taking the spotlight, but by making sure everyone shines with you. That's real leadership. As you move on to high school, know that your future is as wide and as open as your imagination. Keep building, keep believing, and keep being you, because the world needs more of that. Congratulations, Prakriti. I would now like to call Donna Albu with a speech about Ethan Chen.
If I were to compare Ethan to a fruit, it would probably be a walnut. Good, healthy content wrapped up in a hard shell. Ethan is a very sociable and talkative student, often involved in some conversation or activity with his friends. When disrupted from those pleasant moments, Ethan faces the adult with a sort of reluctance. However, behind that composed presence, there is a kind and joyful person. In a one-on-one conversation, you will find that Ethan is warm and personable. He offers good answers and kind observations in class and outside of it. I would like to take this opportunity to celebrate Ethan, the authenticity, the playfulness, the joyful energy. I hope that you will keep some of these characteristics after graduating from middle school Ethan. Best of luck in the upper school Ethan. My next speech is about Audrey Lam. as a serious, hardworking, and creative student. It's been a pleasure hearing her class contributions. The only time I corrected Audrey's behavior was during the oral presentation for the fall trimester. I asked Audrey to speak louder, and she did. However, right at that point in her presentation, she had to switch to a different character for which she covered her face with a huge piece of paper. When she switched back, the voice was low again. But this is a story of glory and redemption because Audrey grew from that experience. In the winter's presentation, we all enjoy hearing a wonderful story about a girl named Audrey and the dragon named Nebulosa. Audrey spoke clearly and relatively loudly, and we could all witness her competence and unique creativity. Thank you for allowing us that privilege, Audrey. Good luck in the upper school, Audrey. I would like to call now Elizabeth Anderson with a speech about Shelley G.
Shelley, your creative writing story from last year stuck with me. You opened with a character in the middle of a dream, and from there, you took me on a twisting ghost story full of discoveries. The book I've chosen for you, Rebecca, opens similarly in a dream. Last night, I dreamt I went to Manderley again. It opens. Like Manderley, the stately and supposedly haunted home of Mr. De Winter, you are elegant and imposing. You both hold a rich story within that reveals itself only to those willing to look closer. Shelley, you are a strong critical thinker, but not one to volunteer your thoughts. Once asked, though, the thoughts you share are often deeply considered and insightful. You are a committed friend and true to yourself. I'm excited to see the discoveries you will make in the upper school and for the teachers who will get to discover you. Congratulations. I would now like to call Amos Malcolm with a speech about Batu Iskender.
Batu, this is an appreciation moment of who you are as a person, and I'll bet you'll be a steward for kindness. I appreciated your calm energy in class each day, your willingness to do the work, and your ability to speak up and ask questions and try out my suggestions. You always help others. I hope that you get opportunities to draw and paint more because you built a good base and created wonderful art. Trust that your unique vision and mark-making showed up in your artwork. The book I chose for you is about step-by-step perspective drawing techniques that show how to draw realistically. You are an excellent student and you apply yourself so fully that I trust you can reach goals in your life because you know how to put in the time and effort. This is hard. Oh. Okay. You are an observant and considerate person, and these qualities will serve you well. Take care and congratulations. My next speech is about Derek Allen. Okay, Derek, I love seeing the art you created through 3 classes, and clearly you are an artistic spirit who finds solace and enrichment in creating art. You draw and paint beautifully and have an eye for detail and rich color that make your drawings visually appealing. You have strong craftsmanship in what you create, and your work ethic as a student is exceptional. I hope that you take as many painting and drawing classes as possible to keep developing your keen art skills. The book I chose for you is about drawing and painting in perspective, which is something you took to with great precision. It's thrilling to learn how to draw complex things like stairs and skyscrapers, and how light falls on objects and makes shadows. You have the patience and drawing background to accelerate your skills and reap personal joy in the process. Take care and congratulations. I would like to now call Brittany Berger to with a speech about Ivanka Cardi.
Hello. Ivanka, you are a kind and considerate person, intelligent, hardworking, supportive of your friends, and a strong student. You know what I respect most about you are your passion for the environment and your leadership in encouraging others to do so as well. I can barely remember a time when you're not part of the middle school Green Club, which you and your friends renamed the Environmental Enthusiast Club. You joined at the beginning of your 6th grade year and has not been the same since, from Eagle Break challenges to running assemblies to attending environmental symposiums at UW this past year. You've done it all. The book I've chosen for you is Braiding Sweetgrass, Scientific Knowledge, Indigenous Women, Wisdom, and the Teaching of Plants by botanist Robin Wall Kimmerer, another environmentally strong leader. You both live out our school vision by leading and encouraging others to make the world a better place. And my next speech is about Olivia Keller. So in mid-class, Olivia wrote that she prefers classic fiction as a genre and that John Steinbeck was one of her favorite authors. Challenge accepted. The Steinbeck book I chose for Olivia is my personal favorite, East of Eden. Like any Steinbeck book, there are moral struggles as well as plenty of adult themes. And some might argue that this book is too mature for a soon-to-be fresh person such as Olivia, but I disagree. She is a mature person and can engage in the existential questions posed in this book. She's very socially connected, understanding the nuances of the relations of her friends, her classmates, even her teachers, and all the members of our community. She takes the time to fully engage with people and get to know who they are. I'm thankful daily for the greetings and check-ins she initiates with me. This will make sense when you are done with the book, Olivia, and probably for Miss Anderson, who also enjoys this book. But for your future, thou mayest. I would now like to call Profe Oro Botero for a speech about Vera Lee.
Vera is the kind of student every teacher hopes to have in class. Thoughtful, dedicated, and brilliant. She might not be the loudest voice in the room, but her presence is powerful. Vera's commitment to excellence is seen in everything she does. She pays close attention to details. Her work is thorough and thoughtful, reflecting a maturity level well beyond her years. This year, Vera took a unique challenge, enrolling as the only 8th grader in the Spanish 3 course. She brought insight, curiosity, and a calm confidence that inspired me and her older colleagues. Vera, because you are who you are, I couldn't help but choose a collection of Mafalda comics, which are famous in Latin America. Like you, Mafalda has a sharp wit and a keen eye. Vera, you're a force for good at the school, and I know your journey is only beginning. We're so proud of you. Congratulations. My next speech is about Kumel Mkaran. Kumel. Whether it's your quick jokes, the persuasive charm, or how you somehow get everyone on board with your ideas, it's impossible not to be drawn to you. You got the rare mix, a a sharp mind, a big heart, and a sense of humor that turns even the dullest day into something worth remembering. Kumel, you don't give up easily. We have all seen that. Whether it's schoolwork, a game, or trying to convince me to give you another donut, you're persistent in the best way. Keep being the kind of person who lifts others just by being yourself. For your book, since I know you're a baker and a donut connoisseur, I got you the Top Pot cookbook so that you can learn from the best. In baking and at school, Kumel, I know you're going to do big things. I look forward to cheering you in high school. Now, I would like to call Dr. Ed Castro with a speech about Nirvana overall.
Do you know who Miles Davis is? Yeah, cool. Because he said, man, sometimes it takes a long time for you to sound like yourself. And you know why I'm giving you that quote? Good. Then let me tell them. I think you make a fantastic poker player. And in fact, part of the reason I think that is because if you've ever tried reading the face of someone who's really serious, and then they suddenly like hit you with a little quick grin, then you know what it's like when you're talking to Nirvana. He's sharp, focused, and always looks like he's thinking about 2 or 3 steps ahead of you, because he usually is. We first met in study hall, where he and his friends thought I didn't notice them playing video games on their computer. There was a window behind them and I could see the reflection. I saw you, man, I saw you. But that's kind of like proof that like their persistence in going after this was kind of proof that they liked to like make sure they got their work done and also played around a bunch, right? So I felt really honored to like meet that challenge and get them to stop. But I lost most of those days. But in any case, the next time I got to be with Nirvana was in the digital music class, where he surprised me by building some creative and expressive beats. Proof that even a sports guy can vibe to sound. Nirvana's balance of discipline and quiet humor makes him someone who will not only find his path, but probably cross over and dunk it too. The book you will receive is the autobiography of Miles Davis, because like Miles, you're learning to sound like yourself, and that's a powerful thing. The next speech is about Alex Zhu. This quote is by Wynton Marsalis. The real power of jazz is that a group of people can come together and create improvised art and negotiate their agendas with each other. And that negotiation is the art. If you ever watched A Quiet Storm Gather Power, then you've seen what it's like to work with Alex. At first, serious and focused, Alex reveals a spark in a subtle and unforgettable way. Usually through music, and sometimes with a perfectly timed smile. I've had the honor of seeing Alex grow from his first notes in Intro to Bam to pushing boundaries in rock orchestra. Watching him improvise on the clarinet fearlessly was something special. He was brave, he was bold, and he was brilliant. And during his junior All-State audition, I saw a young man, a young musician, who doesn't want to just play the notes, but wants to say something through them. Alex, your music speaks volumes, and your journey is just beginning. The book you will receive is Jazz and the Bittersweet Blues of Life by Wynton Marsalis. It's a celebration of the music you love and the life that grows from it. Congratulations. Now I'd like to call my colleague Noah Ching about a speech for Catherine Zhang.
Catherine, the book I chose for you is called The Hidden Life of Trees, which highlights the intricate ways that plants communicate and thrive within complex social structures together. Here's why this book fits you. It's a story rooted in scientific insight, paying homage to our days in scientific thinking too. A meditation on trees, forests, and greenery might feel a little zen and honor your time spent practicing yoga this year. But most of all, here's a book that champions forest ecology and offers more reason to protect and cherish our precious ecosystems, much like how you've championed sustainability in the Green Club here at EPS. To our Hunger Games champion and environmentalist extraordinaire, congratulations on making it through your middle school years. We cannot wait to see all you do in the upper school, but for now, celebrate your accomplishments and know that the earth is a little greener thanks to your passion and leadership. I would now like to call Jeffrey Covington with a speech about Ashna Doshi. Ashna, this speech is a celebration of all the qualities that make you so wonderfully you. Your quirkiness, your humor, your intellectual curiosity, your creativity, but also your love of books. I'll let you know, choosing just one book to represent you was a struggle. You love Sylvia Plath, you're an amazing talk in the Phantom Toll booth, and as we all know, you have a passion for all things dark and spooky. But when you mentioned wanting to read Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, it was hands down, no contest. Shelley was someone who believed in the power of stories to change the way we view outsiders, even for those who might scare us at first. You show that kind of empathy, and let's be real, you love getting scared and getting scary. As you read, I hope you see yourself in Shelley's writing. Perceptive, subversive, sassy, and hopeful, because that's how I see you. And I hope you also see the power you can wield when you put your own thoughts into writing, and that an imaginative girl with a book and pencil in hand is something the world needs to watch out for. Congratulations, and I'm so excited to see what the future brings you. So my next speech is about Charlie Murray. Charlie Murray, you're a man of sophisticated taste, yet you also appreciate life's simple pleasures. For instance, I'd like to share with everybody things that Charlie loves. Candy, Liverpool football, New Zealand, history, and giving up things for Lent. Charlie, though, has also mastered a specific skill set tied to this list of things that he loves. Doing anything necessary to get candy, hating on anything that opposes Liverpool, debating New England's superiority, distracting us in class with history YouTube videos, and lastly, looking sad during Lent because you've given up something you wish you hadn't. But there's one other thing you're exceptionally good at, Charlie: being a good human. You care, and you get those around you to do the same. So the book I've chosen for you is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, a fantasy novel about a man's attempts to restore faith in humanity. I see a lot of parallels between you and the main character, but I also just think you'll really like reading it. So I hope you enjoy it, and can't wait to have you in class in a few years again. I'd now like to call up Monica Cowdery with a speech about Adam Hagen.
Adam, it has been an absolute honor to work with you for these years. You've tried on so many hats, literal and metaphorical, on the stage, on the sports court, and in the classroom. Through all of it, you embody so much ease and chillness. When you're competitive, it is good-natured and inclusive. That's just who you are. With you, actions speak louder than words. And while I could say a bunch of words about you here, we both know that wouldn't resonate as fully as to the person you are. Instead, I want to share with what you've taught me. Because of your actions, I promise to never shy away from getting messy, fully, on EBC and everywhere. I promise to let the less important things fall away, to just let it be. It's gonna be okay. And last, and certainly not least, I promise to choose kindness. Thank you for teaching me so very much. My next speech is about Bruno Dunguru. Bruno, it is so phenomenal to get to watch our students as they grow as humans, as teachers, but it's extra special to witness and participate in your journey. We can talk through the trajectory of success you've been on in the classroom or in the soccer field, but more importantly, I've seen you grow in your ability to take responsibility for who you are and own it fully. Through this growth, you've held on to your good-natured and fun demeanor. I encourage you to keep that gentle silliness alive because it will carry you far. Through all of our meetings and conversations, I'm so appreciative of your willingness to listen. Your smile is so warm, and I've seen you work hard at being friends with so many people. I know whatever is next for you will be yours and have your unique stamp on it. I am so proud of you, and I hope more importantly that you are proud of yourself. Thank you. My next speech is about Naman Rusia. Naman, I am so proud of the earnest, hard work you've put in. It's been a true delight to get to work alongside you and see your curiosity and peek at your funny side. You have this amazing glint of humor that peers out in perfect moments. Audience members, if you ever need a snack recommendation, this is your guy. Humor and snacks are foundational, but there's so much more depth to you. After working hard on a test or a challenging assignment, you're ready to immediately move on to the next thing. I know you're incredibly diligent and willing to keep pushing, even when you'd rather stop. So instead of racing through this speech, we're gonna take a moment. Pause. Breathe in. Breathe out. Appreciate this moment for all of your accomplishments and the whole journey you've been on. I can't wait to see what's in store for you. Thank you, Naman. I would now like to call Katie Dodd with a speech about Tom Kleinpeter.
Tom, I simply don't have enough time to enumerate your positive attributes here, so I'll have to limit myself to just a few. You are thoughtful, such as when you compared the survival rate of baby sea turtles to the Hunger Games. You are empathetic with some truly unique perspective-taking capabilities. I overheard you once musing what life would be like if one were an eraser, constantly rubbed on like sandpaper. You are adventurous, wanting to get out of your comfort zone on EBC. You are creative, such as when you and your friends invented a new version of the card game War, which was immensely more complicated and vastly more fun than the original. And perhaps my favorite, you have a wry sense of humor. When you were told that the white mangrove didn't have as much nectar as honeysuckle, you remarked to our guide, My disappointment is immeasurable. Tom, thank you for being you and bringing so much to the middle school. I would now like to call Kara Duval-Fowler with a speech about Pragya Mahawar.
Pragya, it has been a delight seeing you grow and lead this year. Your confidence, joy, and competence that all you set your mind to inject such energy and happiness into our community. You are fearless in your approach to learning, standing by your ideas and diving in headfirst to new concepts. You were unafraid to share and let your voice be heard. Alongside this, you're also ready to take feedback constructively and move forward with a growth mindset. For your academic grit, and for your full, goofy self, you garner the respect and care of all those around you. You are universally desired as a work partner and as a friend. I have complete faith that you will find successes in your 9th grade year, and failures, and struggles, and joys, and so much more. And all the while, you will be amazingly, wonderfully proud of you. Congratulations. I would now like to call Emma Ferguson with a speech about Lillian Simone.
Lillian, it is so exciting to witness your continuation and to be part of your celebration. I'm so excited for you. When you started our Spanish class in the fall, you were very concerned about how you would do. I think you said something about taking a pass-fail, but in the end, you have really excelled in Spanish throughout the year, start to finish. You were also worried about mixing French with Spanish, but in the end, you've really mixed French with Spanish sometimes, and still managed to excel in both. So hopefully the lesson there is the beauty of imperfection and the possibilities that await you despite them. So keep using all your beautiful languages. And I'm going to model some vulnerability and making a mistake with language and toutes vous belles langues. Yeah, that sounds more Italian than French. But todos tus bellos idiomas. And I hope that a little tau of poo will help you celebrate your pensive yet playful nature and give you some tools for building your own lifetime of wisdom. I would now like to call Lisa Frystaff with a speech about Michaela Holt.
This is a shock to both of us. Michaela, how do I sum up 4 years, 4 shows, and 6 classes together in 150 words? I'll try. Vivian, Diana, Humbug, Beezus, Timmy, Enchanter, Director, Tears, Beanbag, Chair, Spam, Laughter, Dedication, Compassion, Deep Understanding of Self, the World, Unique, Space Pandas, Empathy, Drama, Theater, Drama, Growth, Tears, Soccer, Sibling Support, Traditions, Tollbooth, Sorries, Click-a-Tat, Edward, Spaghetti, you always think spaghetti, Shawarma, Trust, Critical Thinking, and finally, Tears. This year, you wrote, and I'm paraphrasing 150 words here, I've been in every play, and that's because of one person. You wrote that that person was me. I must publicly refute that. You have been in every play, musical, and class because of you, Michaela. You work hard, you challenge yourself, and as showcased by your directorial debut, you aren't afraid to be vulnerable. As you enter upper school, promise me this: give yourself grace. Let others see you shine, and stop apologizing for who you are. Congratulations, you beautiful human. I would now like to call Diana
the warm-up, in which students had to write a poem about a fact of life. Nadia, as I thought about the best way I can celebrate who you've been in my classroom, I tried my hand at this writing exercise myself. Here's a fact. Some people can't help but to stay adrift from the paths that are presented to them. For some, the script is wonderful and safe, but others might find more bliss in the margins of an assignment slip, doodling while getting her hair split into 2 braids by a friend before she spreads glue on her hand, and only until then she settles in to open her laptop and begin. Navia, do you see what this strength is? You are friendly, hardworking, diligent, but more importantly, you are fierce, determined, talkative, meant to forge a life that no one else has ever lived. Navia, as you enter a new chapter, stay true to who you are. I would now like to call Michael Graybill with a speech about Selena Lasley.
Selena. I've been blessed and fortunate with the opportunity to work with Selena over the past 3 years as her advisor and as her math teacher. She's one of those rare students that quietly leads by example, kind, empathetic, patient, and deeply thoughtful in everything she does. Whether she's immersed in a math project, delivering a powerful argument in debate, performing on stage, or beating me at a best 2 out of 3 rock, paper, scissors match in 5 seconds flat, Selena brings a calm focus and quiet strength that lifts the people around her. She's also adventurous, fencing and sailing in her free time, which fits perfectly with the determined, curious spirit I see in her every day. Her warmth and compassion are felt by all in the school community. Selena, it's been a privilege to be a part of your journey over the past 3 years, and I can't wait to see what you do next. My next speech is about Samarth the Tank Army. I've had the pleasure of advising Samarth for the past 2 years and having him as a student for 1. I distinctly remember him writing down, in quotes, "Be smart like Samarth," as one of the class norms we should abide by in geometry. But jokes aside, whether it's math, engineering, or computer science, Samarth approaches every challenge with focus, curiosity, and creativity. He's got some heart. Get it? What I've appreciated just as much is his playful and goofy side, the side that reminds us that he's still an 8th grader who knows how to have fun. That balance of drive and lightheartedness makes him not only a top-notch student, but also a joy to be around. Samarth, your ambitions are big, your potential is enormous, and I know you'll excel in whatever you pursue. So keep learning, keep building, and never lose that spark that makes you, you. My next speech is about Jayesh Singhal. It's been a joy watching Jayesh grow from a bright-eyed 5th grader in our stock trading club, which, let's be honest, was just an excuse to watch Shark Tank, to the prank-loving, occasionally mature 8th grader we celebrate today. I still remember trying to teach support and resistance lines and seeing how new and challenging those ideas were. Jayesh approached those moments with patience, curiosity, and a willingness to learn, qualities that have continued to grow in him over the years. As a student, Jayesh is memorable through his humor, charm, and his thoughtful presence in the classroom. Fast forward to our recent EBC trip to DC. Taller, shorter hair, a little wiser, and a bit more responsible. Emphasis on a bit. Jayesh, you've always brought energy, laughter, and just enough chaos to keep things interesting. I can't wait to see where life takes you next. Hopefully somewhere with fewer pranks, but just as many donuts. I would now like to call Alicia Hale with a speech about Amelia Hayashi.
sometimes you must go against the wheel's turn. Amelia, you are a gentle revolution. In the ways you question quietly, seeing patterns that others miss, you understand the turning of things, how seasons change and stories flow. Yet you dare to imagine different rhythms. Your strength lies in observation, in the ways you notice how things could be different, better, kinder, truer. Your quietness isn't conformity, it's the space where wisdom grows, where courage takes root in careful thought and patient change. Amelia, you are not just watching the wheels turn, you're discovering new ways it could spin. And remember, the most profound changes are often started with someone who dares to see it. My next speech is by Julia Rasmussen. Julia, bold action and bold manner are not the same. Madeline Miller. Julia, you are a truth-seer, not in whispers or echoes, but in clear, brave voices that make others stop, listen, consider, turning opinions into wisdom, of making your voice ring true. You've discovered that strength lives in the question you dare to ask, and the answers you refuse to accept. Your magic isn't fitting in, but standing apart, drawing others into your circle. Julia, you're not just finding your voice, you're teaching others to trust their own. And remember, the most powerful transformation is when we help others see their own. I would like to call Sarah Holman Lund with a speech about James Hurd.
James, from your signature cheerful "Good morning, Mr. Rariger" to your voracious love of learning and asking deep questions, you consistently share your genuine self with those around you. I think back to our Lit Shop unit, when you had just finished your original book and had begun a literary analysis of the Bible. During a warm-up in LT3, we wrote letters taking the perspectives of our main characters, and you took it further, writing a detailed and moving account from the perspective of Moses speaking to God. It enthralled us all. That's who you are, James. Someone who goes deeper, someone who isn't afraid to engage with complexity, whether it's through your writing, discussion, or simply the way that you show up each day. You lead with thoughtfulness, integrity, and just the right amount of humor to keep things fun. James, never be afraid to ask big questions, take bold stances, or offer new perspectives. I can't wait to see where your curiosity and insight will take you next. My next speech is about Keon Navar. Some books you enjoy once and set aside, others you return to again and again. Keon, I've had the opportunity to read through the many chapters in the book of you. Each one reveals a thoughtful, curious, and compassionate individual. Here are just a few chapter titles that might one day appear in your biography recounting your 8th grade year. Chapter 1, what is the real purpose of annotations? Deliberations and analysis of literary pedagogy for the benefit of students everywhere. Chapter 2, the Beachcomber Chronicles, finding meaning and trash at Olympic Sculpture Park. Chapter 3, how to be kind to others and to yourself. Chapter 4, why, the guide to asking questions that matter. Chapter 5, just Keon, no filter on being candidly yourself. Keon, I admire your ability to connect, to notice what others might overlook, and to lead by simply being you. I have no doubt the next chapters will take you far. Your run rate is clear, time to take off. Congratulations. I would now like to call Sarah Hollingshead with a speech about Ava Anderson.
Ava, one of the first things I noticed about you was your appreciation for and ability to find and create beauty. From your first sticker that you made on the vinyl cutter, to the marigold flower you etched on the laser cutter, the sign that you made with the silhouettes of your cute dogs, Cora and Zula, to the pastel color palettes you use on all of your websites, and even to your cell analogy project for ST2, which is still on display in the classroom. You look for beauty in everything that you do. This is an impressive and useful skill in life, especially when you are a young person. As you continue on your journey through high school and your adult life afterwards, you're going to encounter a lot of ugliness in situations and people in the world. But your ability to find the good and the beauty in any situation will serve you well. And I know you instill the search for beauty in others too. Good luck next year, and keep looking for and creating beauty. My next speech is about Junie Klaus. Junie, on the first day we met, you brought me this. After me saying, "Oh, thank you," you went into an explanation. This is Pea Peeve. Pea Peeve is one of your many peeves that you've made, and has some special pet peeves here. Particular peeves are, my glasses aren't on right, and I'm late for school, and I forgot my homework, and ... I've had it hanging in my classroom ever since you gave it to me. On my desk for several years, and he inspired me to share some of my pet peeves with you and our audience today. First, I'm peeved that I only got to teach you for one trimester a year for the last 3 years. It was not enough time. 2, I'm peeved that web and fall of the school year was the last time I would ever have you in one of my classes. And 3, I'm peeved that I won't see you in the hallways of the middle school every day after today. But one thing I will never be peeved about is the time that I spent getting to know you. Good luck next year, and I hope you'll come to visit the Makerspace and me for more creative projects. I would now like to call David Kelly Hedrick with a speech about Sanjana Munshi.
Sanjana, daughter, sister, friend, student, writer, athlete, kind, happy, caring, supportive, smart, witty, deep, hardworking, argumentative, mature, attentive, focused, aware. You are a fan of existentialism with a fondness for science and dystopian fiction. Yet in school you project the high beam lights of hope and optimism. Highlights of your middle school career include soccer, track, basketball, math and debate team, student ambassador, and robotics. What will you do in the upper school? You have a special call out for your amazing innovation project on music to vibration sensors. In Lit, you wrote a beautiful short piece about pandas taking over the world and bringing peace, balance, and structure to humans on our planet. And you created a bizarre and wonderful creature with the power to cast a spell on people that makes them dance. I selected the novel Orbital by Samantha Harvey. It's a mesmerizing tale of astronauts and cosmonauts rotating through 16 orbits around planet Earth, and it reflects the luminous and alpenglow shine that you bring to our community. Congratulations. My next speech is about Shrey Prasad. Shrey, you wrote that your favorite books are about war and comedy. And these preferences express your willingness to view both the heavy and serious events of history along with the lighter and funnier fare of the human condition. You are a student of the profound, yet with an easy ability for laughter. You have a wry smile and a lovely blend of being both contemplative and compassionate. Your embrace of life's dichotomies may be conveyed in a few lines from one of your poems this year. I adore the color black. I adore the seas vast. I adore the thoughts that seep into the mind. I adore those who try. I adore words with complexity. I adore words with simplicity. I adore symbols and sign with special meaning. I adore those that actually care. That's so true. The book I selected for you is Heroes, the latest historical novel by Alan Gratz, your favorite author. May you continue to laugh in the face of adversity and challenge and shine in your school. Congratulations. I would now like to call my colleague Ellen Kuffner with a speech about Hannah Yamashita.
Hannah, your response to Mr. Kelly Hedrick's inquiry regarding favorite types of books was about literature that explored characters' personal growth. Well, this is exactly the theme that I wanted to focus on for your speech. It's perfect. When I first met you in my 5th grade science class, you were curious, driven, and an aspiring leader. Since then, I have seen nothing but astounding growth in those areas. Truly, when you stepped up this past autumn to make our girls' soccer team into one that welcomed 5th through 8th graders, you amaze me with your leadership, your dedication, and your enthusiasm. Throughout EPS, your teachers give you similar accolades about helping others and following your passions. Like Miss Dodd's Florida story about how you stayed out snorkeling on the coral reef with her for a long time because you were so curious about the local biodiversity. And Miss Hollingshead's story about you inventing servo motor ski goggle windshield wipers. I'll say that again. Servo motor ski goggle windshield wipers. You are the real deal, Hannah, and it has been so inspiring to witness your journey. Congratulations. I would now like to call Allison Lures with a speech about Orla Krull.
Orla, I'm sure you remember the day when you were the only one to show up for our advisory's lunch duty. Sure, it felt good to know you'd win the day's candy raffle, but I think the event speaks to your character. You show up. You might not always like the job, sometimes it even deserves your trusty eye roll, but you are dedicated and dependable. You're a competitive athlete with little discretionary time, yet you're consistently there for your friends, for your schoolwork, for your family, and yes, even for lunch duty. I've never seen you yet in a meet, but I have no problem imagining you, steadfastly focused on your flips and tumbles as you compete, then standing to the side and cheering on your teammates, showing them you're 100% there for them. Just as the candy bowls, and I will be there for you next year, so please keep coming to visit. My next speech is about Catherine Sway. Watch out for the quiet ones, or so the saying goes. Having spent the better part of 2 years getting to watch you, Catherine, I understand the statement's validity. Yes, watch. Watch and learn. Watch this quiet one to learn how to be a rock-solid friend, someone peers can count on. Watch her approach her academics with curiosity, creativity, and determination, enriching her classrooms each time she chooses to speak. Watch her demonstrate the true power of sisterhood as she spends her summer composing a beautiful and compelling recommendation letter for her big sister. Watch her lead her section of the orchestra as she coaxes sweet music from her violin. then want her to learn how to insert a perfectly timed, slightly sarcastic remark into casual conversation. There's so much to be learned by watching this quiet one. Catherine's about to enter the upper school, so do yourself a favor and watch out. I'd now like to call Galen Lynch with a speech about Grace Miller.
Full of joy every day. That's how one of your other teachers described you, and I think anyone who's had a chance to work with you and know you, Grace, would definitely agree. I am so impressed with your enthusiasm for everything you do. It shines through whether you're bringing faculty like myself and classmates in the LPC, leading, let's say, impassioned class discussions, or gamely trying to teach me Spanish in Assembly. And I apologize again for not being a better student. You impress everyone with your insightful questions, your self-advocacy, which amazes me day after day when I had the opportunity to teach you, and more importantly, your willingness to take on difficult challenges. You're actually one of the first students I remember meeting when I started here. You may not remember this, but our very first day, you had very strong opinions about seating charts, but it really just showed me as an example of the students here at EPS and how they did stand up for themselves, their classrooms, and were willing to take on those harder discussions. In general, you have just grown so much in math, but more importantly, just in the person that you are, whether it's mastering concepts, building confidence as both a learner and a leader. Your curiosity, positivity, determination extend far beyond the classroom, from academics to athletics, and I know you will continue to do extraordinary things in the coming years. I'm so excited to do Grace's speech, I forgot I have another thing. I would now like to call up Karen Mills and Lena Hobart for our next speech.
Lena, I haven't taught you since you were in 5th grade. From that time, I remember your bright eyes, curiosity, creativity, and smile of genuine joy. Since then, we've sat high in the hallways, and I've enjoyed your work in theater productions, but we didn't connect often until we were in the same discussion group during Voices in Action Day. It made my teacher heart proud to see that your essentials were still there, and also that you had added depth to your thinking, maturity to your actions, and intellect to your processing of big ideas. It made me wonder, what else has changed over the past 4 years? So I have some questions for you. You ready to answer them? Okay, here we go. They're based on your list of 16 things I wish I could do, written in May 2022 by 5th grade Lena. Remember that activity? Okay. But you're ready to answer anyway. Yeah, great. Okay, here we go. Do you still wish you could crawl through a vent? Do you wish that you could do you still wish that you could eat a whole raw onion? Okay. I got a couple more. Convince the world that pineapple pizza is good? Okay. Here's a good one. Punch COVID in the face. Yeah. Okay. Last one. Hug a panda. Yeah. Oh, okay. So some things change, and some things stay the same. I hope you continue to grow in all the good ways, Lena. Congratulations. I would now like to call on Nuan with a speech about Gabby Rowell.
Right. Before we begin, I just want to ask a question. Can I embarrass you a little? Sure. Yes. All right. So Gabby missed a tunnel with all the teachers traditionally lined up outside of the TALI. So can I have some help from up top and from over here on 3? A big cheer for Gabby. 1, 2, 3. about being a teacher is getting to know students. More importantly is seeing students get to know themselves. When we first met, you appeared very shy and reserved. That was short-lived. You made friends very quickly, sometimes maybe over socialized, but you always knew when to scale back. I know this because your teachers all told me. They also said you have a strong work ethic, you're dedicated, enthusiastic, positive, and committed. This is evident in athletics as well, where you always put 100% of effort into everything that you do. Whether it's basketball, lacrosse, or benchmarks in PE, you always strive to be your best. Competition sometimes gets the best of us, but you have always found a good balance by supporting your teammates and finding ways to win together versus doing it yourself. As you continue your journey of self-discovery, please know you have built a strong foundation for yourself. Proud of you, Gabby. Congratulations. Next, I'd like to call Dr. Russell with a speech about Adam Hong.
Adam, you're the kind of student who doesn't just do projects. You engineer, build, compose, perform, and launch them. Sometimes literally, looking at you, giant make catapult. In executing your projects, you are brilliant, creative, curious, kind, and always, always prepared. I recently found out that you even carry a personal paper cutter. I'm not sure if that makes you a crafting superhero or just deeply committed to clean edges, but I respect it. You pour your heart and humor into all your projects as well. Your Rube Goldberg machine, your Blue Nose ship transformation, your piano accompaniment to the grand finale sing-along of Vivida, and turning your summer algebra struggle into a comedic lesson on procrastination for the entire middle school. Thank you for bringing wit and wonder to every corner of school life through your leadership. Between lunchtime chess matches and your next epic debate, what wild, wonderful project comes next? Mars colony, time machine? We can't wait to find out. Congratulations. My next speech is about Maya Maishwari. Maya, you are the definition of quiet and creative brilliance. Whether you're crafting meticulous scientific drawings or organizing your notes like a pro, you bring intelligence and heart to everything you do. I still smile every time I pull out your cherry coke distillation diagram for the 6th grade quiz. It's already a classic, 3 years running. But what really sets you apart is your imagination. Your lit creative journal is like a window into a vibrant, thoughtful world, full of poetry, art, and musings that leave your teachers inspired. Your powerful lines, I quote, "I question love in its entirety, I question possibility, I question impossibility," show a depth and insight that's truly rare. You lead with kindness and purpose, Maya, whether you're co-hosting assemblies and leadership labs, stuffing eco-bricks and Green Club, offering constructive and inclusive peer feedback, or cheering on your club volleyball team. You're conscientious, organized, positive, and grounded, just an all-around amazing human. Maya, keep being bold, curious, and unapologetically you. The world needs your creativity. I would now like to call Luke Stromberg with a speech about Preston Sue.
Congratulations, Preston. You are a reflective, disciplined, and principled young man. It has been great to watch you branch out, open up, and mature. At first, when you were a new 7th grade advisor of mine, my impression of you was that you were fairly quiet and reserved, especially compared to some of the loud personalities in our group. But over the course of the year, and especially this school year, I've gotten to see the full version of Preston. Clever, fun-loving, studious, athletic, and responsible. Thank you for allowing me to see the full version of you. Others around you really listen to you when you speak, and I think you have more influence than you realize. I hope you continue to be a leader wherever life takes you in the years to come. Again, congratulations on finishing your 8th grade year on a high note, and I look forward to seeing you again in the future. And my next speech is about Axel Wagner. Congratulations, Axel. Axel, you are one of the most creative, caring, and insightful students I've had the pleasure to work with. Whether it's your talent for design, your sharp and witty insights delivered right when we need a laugh, or your calm and thoughtful leadership, you've made a deep impact on your 8th grade class and your teachers and school. From helping run assemblies with ease and professionalism to creating impressively detailed and whimsical imaginary scenarios that keep us all guessing, to keeping every part of your school life impressively organized, you show up for your community and your friends with maturity, intention, and style. You're the kind of person that people feel lucky to know, someone who leads not just by example, but with kindness, humor, heart, creativity, and you consistently find ways to build other people up. Congratulations on an incredible 8th grade year, Axel. I can't wait to see what you do next. And I would like to now call Ryan Winkleman to the stage with a speech about Harris Patton.
Harris, I could spend this time lauding your jumps in academic achievement, from your writing to your researching to your presenting, but instead I want to tell a story, and that story takes place on the 3rd floor of TALI, or excuse me, TMAC in the gym. You see, we were involved in a competitive elimination 3-on-3 basketball game, and to be clear, I was involved. Harris, you had been eliminated. And during the game, there was a loose ball that led to a tense moment. And Harris rushed onto the court and immediately told me in no uncertain terms that he didn't like my competitive approach to the game. We talked about it afterwards, and Harris, I was impressed by 2 things. The first was your willingness to stand up to someone of authority. But second was your fierceness in defending your friends. They're really lucky to have someone like you have their back, and I think they know that. So in the vein of standing up for what you believe in, I picked The Soul of a Butterfly by Muhammad Ali and his daughter. A journey in a life well fought. I hope it adds to your already passionate, powerful drive to stand up for what you believe in. Congratulations. My next speech is about Akshay Suresh. Akshay, people really enjoy being around you. I know your teammates and friends appreciate your competitive nature and your toughness. You have 2 gears. You're either playing full speed or you're not playing at all. Additionally, people like being around you because of your jovial sense of humor, your willingness to joke around, and particularly that contagious smile of yours. But I would argue that the biggest reason people like you is because of your genuine, thoughtful nature. I found an example of this in your write-up on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Love Your Enemy speech, when you wrote that while it's hard to forgive, especially when people think they're not in the wrong, hatred wouldn't be a thing if everyone took a new attitude and didn't take everything they heard so seriously. Akshay, you take on this new attitude. You allow people to be their full selves, and you go with the flow in any situation. In the spirit of your water-like nature, I chose for you the book, Be Water, My Friend, about Bruce Lee's water-like philosophy. Congratulations. I would now like to call Malcolm Yates with a speech about Surrey Castle.
Hey, sir. Sir, you have an energy about you in and out of the classroom that just puts people at ease. What a gift. Some particularly memorable moments include your overly enthusiastic customer from Ir de Compras, your aloof murder victim from Avance de una Película, and your histrionic pie from Life of Pi. I wasn't in there for that, but somebody showed it to me just because it was fun. And you were fun. During each of these absolutely iconic performances, you giggled constantly. You could not really get through what you were trying to say. And yet, you nailed the academic parts of the actual assignment. This, to me, is the beautiful sweet spot that EPS is hoping to create and which you inhabit wonderfully. Happily, You are totally unlike the characters in Nick Hornby's High Fidelity, whereas you think about the world in a serious way without taking yourself too seriously. These clowns think deeply about trivial nonsense and take themselves incredibly seriously. Nevertheless, there's something Surrey-like in this clever, lighthearted, emotionally sincere novel. At 14, I delighted in its silliness, and I hope you will as well. My next speech is about Atlas Lens. It's a great pseudo. The road goes ever on and on, down from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road has gone, and I must follow if I can. So begins one of Bilbo Baggins' walking songs, and you, Atlas, share many of Bilbo's best qualities. You are loyal, kind, and a bit eccentric. You have a biting sense of humor, which guards an admirable sweetness and sensitivity. You may claim to prefer comfort and ease over adventure and challenge, but those who know you know better. In fact, you are fascinated by the unfamiliar and eager to explore the unknown. As you begin to follow your own road through high school and beyond, I thought you might enjoy paging through these beautifully illustrated cartographical representations of the fantastical world of Tolkien's Middle-earth. That's right, I chose this book for you, Atlas. It's a bound collection of maps. Enjoy. I would now like to call Dan Yesbick with a speech about Vivian Lee.
Hey Vivian, I hope you like comic books with lots of lengthy footnotes, because that's what I got for you. If that doesn't sound that amazing quite yet, give me a few more seconds to explain. It's called The Thrilling Adventures of Lovelace and Babbage, and like you, the dynamic leads have vision and considerable powers of execution. By vision, I mean style and imagination, both of which you've got in spades, as anybody who knows you knows. When Moses struck a rock in your tile of the mosaic for history class this year, not only was the actually wooden staff convincing, but the water that sprang from said rock did so in beautiful, carefully laid coils of blue and white yarn. Style, execution. Your retelling of the biblical moment also seamlessly blended both the actual Old Testament and your own confident narrative voice. Wow, I still feel like I was there. My next speech is about Faust Patton. Faust, in our numerous class discussions in humorous thinking, not humorous, in our numerous class discussions in historical thinking this year, I have noticed you've reliably brought a refreshing mix of curiosity, conviction, and skepticism to the table. Way to think critically. You genuinely care about figuring things out, especially the hard things. I picture you as a classic gumshoe, a detective working to get to the bottom of something. The author of the book that I got you is like that too. He wrote about how the world's religions are actually not all the same and called it God is Not One. So yes, beware of generalizations and totalizing visions. And if someone tells you, well, the answer to that is rather nuanced, be sure to ask, how so? Your curiosity and skepticism are both notable and praiseworthy. Now, what are you going to do next? I expect an occasional dispatch from the great beyond, by which I mean the upper school. Good luck out there. I would now like to call Sarah Peden to the podium.
Thank you, faculty members, for your speeches. Now, we have a few more housekeeping tasks to take care of before we dismiss for summer. First, after I close the ceremony, you should head to the TALI atrium, where students will receive cupcakes and enjoy one another's company one last time on campus before heading to break. Secondly, I'd like to share some words of thanks to the people who made today possible. I'd like to highlight our fabulous facilities and kitchens teams for setting up. To the folks in the booth for making this event sound and light so beautiful. And a very, very special thanks to Randy Louise Peterson for all of her work in putting this together. I'd like to thank everyone who has had an impact on our 8th grade class. And now a special thank you and appreciation to the class of 2029. Celebrating these folks, and you guys can now enjoy your cupcakes.
Start.